أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان اللعين الرجيم. بسم الله رب العالمين. اللهم صل على محمد سيد المرسلين وخاتم النبيين وحجة رب العالمين، المنتجب في الميثاق المصطفى في الضلال، المطهر من كل آفة، البرية من كل عيب، المؤمل للنجاة، المرتجى للشفاعة، المفوض إليه دين الله. السلام عليك يا أبا عبد الله، وعلى الأرواح التي حلت بفنائك، عليك مني سلام الله أبدا ما بقيت وبقي الليل والنهار، ولا جعله الله آخر العهد مني لزيارتكم. السلام على الحسين وعلى علي بن الحسين وعلى أولاد الحسين وعلى أصحاب الحسين وعلى أخته العقيلة زينب وأخيه أبا الفضل العباس ورحمة الله وبركاته. قال سيد الكونين سيد المرسلين وخاتم النبيين الحبيب المصطفى محمد، والذي بعثني بالحق نبيا، إن الحسين بن علي في السماوات أعظم مما هو في الأرض، واسمه مكتوب عن يمين العرش. إن الحسين مصباح الهدى وسفينة النجاة. صلي على محمد وآل محمد. For the hastening appearance of Imam صاحب العصر والزمان، أرواحنا وأرواح العالمين لتراب مقدمه الفداء. loud صلوات. For your well-being and the well-being of your family and the zawar of Aba Abdullah al-Hussein, another louder salawat. Aba Abdullah al-Hussein's message, his revolution, his wise words is not bound in any time or any space or form. It's not bound to anything. 61 AH, he stood there with a few number of companions, fought 40,000 soldiers in one day. He and his companions were annihilated. But the message of Aba Abdullah al-Hussein continued throughout history, from one place to another. And that is the miracle of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that since his martyrdom, you find many governments tried to shut down these rituals that we come to today, these gatherings, these majalis, but you find to become vaster, bigger, brighter. And the beauty of this is that Imam al-Hussein message is not for one nation, it's not for one race, it's not for one gender, it's for everyone, whether you like it or not. It's for the rich as it's for the poor. It's for the black as it is for the white. It's for the sinner as it is for the worshipper. It's for everyone. Throughout the year, many people, they don't come to any of these gatherings. Many people, they don't even see the majalis, they don't even know if there is any in the town. But when it comes to محرم al-Haram, when it comes to this month, for Hussein, he looks for somewhere to go. For Aba Abdullah al-Hussein, he wants to be in this majalis, and he comes and he sits down and listens to the majlis. And he again is drawn to this magnificent wisdom, magnificent revolution, magnificent movement. This is why Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam said, إن الحسين مصباح الهدى. Hussein, Aba Abdullah al-Hussein, Sayyid al-Shuhada, is a misbah of huda. He's a lantern of guidance. And what is that? If you look at our lives today, the life that we're living, there are many things that consumes an individual. Many pleasures of the earth, many pleasures that we see, the desires, they take over. And many of the people, they fall into this. And by the time they found that this is not worth it, it's too late, and they can't find an escape from this. This is why in this earth, on this life, we need someone to guide us from point A to point B. And who is the better guidance than Ahl al-Bayt alayhim afdal salati was-salam? Who is better than them? We recite in Surah Al-Fatiha, the first surah in the Quran al-Kareem. What do we recite? How many times do we recite this surah a day? We recite this surah every day, 5 times in every salat, so 10. So how many times we say this ayat, these verses? اهدنا الصراط المستقيم. And then صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم. Guide me to the right path, the path of those you have blessed. Who are those who have Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has blessed? See, inshallah in subsequent nights I'll be speaking in more depth about Ghadir Khum and the connection between Ghadir and the revolution of Imam al-Hussein. Then the connection between the revolution of Aba Abdullah al-Hussein and what the coming of our Imam, the Imam of our time, صاحب العصر والزمان أرواحنا وأرواح العالمين لتراب مقدمه الفداء. It's connected, one to the other. So you find that Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam, as some say, he came for 23 years, he just delivered his message and he said, you know what, farewell and this is it. Find your own way. This is, as some claim that what the Prophet did was, he said, you'll find your own successor of mine and find someone to take over. And he will. Whoever you find, call him Amir al-Mu'mineen, give them a title and give them a crown and a throne and let them rule you whatever they desire, and it's okay from my side. Of course, it is the opposite of this. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, what he did was, many occasions the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam pointed to the right people that will take over. He pointed to Ali and his family. These are the right people. These are the people that will take over after me. If you have any questions, you come to them. That 23 years, I couldn't go in depth with you about every single part of the religion. The Quran that we have today, if you open the Quran, with that knowledge, you recite the Quran and you give your own tafsir to the Quran of the ayat, and of course you're not going to be accurate if you are not following the right path. You see the other side, one of the scholars, he sits down and he reads the ayah. If he doesn't like the ayah, well, he says, you know what, this is about such and such, and that is about such and such, and he's not even remotely connected to the right path. Why? Because he's not following the right person. If you go today, you go to kindergarten, you have a teacher teaching you the alphabet. You have the book and you have the teacher. There's no school that tells you, take the book and you teach yourself. Yet, people say the Quran al-Kareem doesn't need anyone. Hasbuna kitabullah. Quran can explain itself. Quran needs someone to explain it to mankind. Hasbuna kitabullah. is way out of the ballpark. Hasbuna kitabullah. When you say Hasbuna kitabullah, the Quran has to come after every ayah, have a footnote telling you what this ayah means, and the Quran doesn't do that. The Quran gives you glimpses here and there and tells you, فَاسْأَلُوا أَهْلَ الذِّكْرِ إِن كُنْتُمْ لَا تَعْلَمُونَ. But ask the right people, and the right people will tell you what to do. إِنَّ الْحُسَيْنِ. Rasulullah says, I saw on the arsh written, إِنَّ الْحُسَيْنِ مِصْبَاحُ الْهُدَى وَسَفِينَةُ النَّجَاةِ. One, let's talk about this hadith itself. مِصْبَاحُ الْهُدَى, he didn't say for what time, for what place. مِصْبَاحُ الْهُدَى for every place, every time, any time. The message of Imam al-Hussein was delivered on the day of Ashura in Karbala, but it doesn't mean it was finished then. It started from there and continued throughout history and echoed throughout history. This member, we call this a member, a pulpit. This member guided millions of people to the right path. Why? It's not the speaker, it's who we're speaking about. Who are we speaking about? We're speaking about a person who sacrificed everything he had for Allah the Almighty. Now, a person doesn't understand this if he doesn't give anything to Allah. If you ask some people to donate, when he gives $1 from his pocket, he's giving a piece of his heart. Oh, take that, and he's holding it tight. Yet, our Imam gave everything, and he said, Ya Rabb, khudh hatta tarda. Take until you are satisfied. Take as much as you want, so I can revive this religion to its right place. Misbah al-Huda, a lantern, and he is Safinatul Najat. He's the Ark of Salvation. Ark of Salvation, as one hadith, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam says in a hadith, a very famous hadith, he says that إِنَّ مَثَلَ أَهْلُ بَيْتِي فِيكُمْ كَسَفِينَةِ نُوحٍ. The example of my family for you is as the Ark of Noah, or Nuh. Nuh, he told his people, there's a storm coming. Everywhere will be flooded. You want to survive? Come join me to the ark. No, this is the middle of the desert. What are you doing? They start mocking him. And he came. His own son said to him, now I find a place, a refuge on top of the mountain. And he also drowned. The Armenian people, they forget what is important. The priorities in life. Brothers and sisters, this is the whole idea of this majalis, that we get our priorities right. Do one thing for yourself and one thing for Allah the Almighty. Better yet, do everything for Allah the Almighty. Everything you do it for the sake of Allah. Can you do that? It's very hard. It's not something easy. Imam al-Hussein, that's what he did. He gave everything for sake of Allah. Not just him. You might say, well, it was him, he's the Imam. How can we become like the Imam? Well, his companions. The companions that they also were devoted to the path of Imam al-Hussein salamullah alayhi. And they also gave their life for this cause. Abu Abdullah al-Hussein is Misbah al-Huda for everyone, and he's also Safinatul Najat. Safina, you come aboard and you'll be safe. You don't come aboard, we're here only for a couple of days, and then on the 10th night we say this is the night that we finish, that's it. We don't come anymore to the majalis. I have nothing to do with this until next year. This is not just for that 10 nights, brothers and sisters. This is a message that goes throughout the year. There are some Husayniyat in Middle East, they do majlis every single night. Not just the 10th of the محرم, the first 10th of محرم. No, every single night, the 365 days, they have majlis. And they remember Imam al-Hussein salamullah alayhi. And that is the least we can do. Imam Hussein didn't say, come and sacrifice yourself and your family for me. But at least remember me. Remember me. Follow my path. Follow my path. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam says that Hussein is the right path. That road that you're walking in, that it's dark, that you might fall to the right and to the left, and you might lose the way. If you go from here to anywhere in Sydney and you don't know the right path, or you don't have a navigation system, what happens to you? You get lost. You run out of petrol and you have to look for an alternative way to get to your destination. Imam al-Hussein salamullah alayhi is that light. He's that navigation system. So you're not going to get lost. Even if you got lost in life, it's not the end of it. You have someone to hold on to say, you know what, I want to be on your path. I lost the way. Imam al-Hussein alayhi salatu wassalam, as I mentioned, he's not only for those who worship Allah the Almighty, he is also for the sinner. He is also for that person who wants to reform, he wants to come back to the right path. He actually welcomes him. Here, this majalis, there are the houses of Imam al-Hussein. No one is allowed to stand outside next to the door, tells a person you are not allowed to come in. No matter who they are, if they are Christian or Jew, whatever they are. Their skin color, where they are from, they are welcomed. Why? Because this is not my house. This is not your house. This is the house of Imam al-Hussein. And Imam al-Hussein says, you are welcome. Because the mercy that I have was the same mercy I had for Hurr ibn Yazid al-Riyahi. Hurr stood in front of Hussein with the army and he stopped the Imam going to Kufa. فَكَلَتْكَ أُمُّكَ يَا حُرْ, as the Imam told him, may your mother sit and weep for you, cry for you. He looked at the Imam and he said to the Imam, if your mother wasn't Fatima, I would reply the same to you. But how can I say these words when your mother is Fatima to Zahra? He stopped the Imam going to Kufa. He was the cause for the Imam to go into the land of Karbala. But this person comes on the night of Ashura and his head bowed down and he says, Sayyidi wa Mawlai, hal li min tawbah? If someone does any wrong to you, and I say this without sugarcoating it, brothers and sisters, we're here to change. We're not here just to have fun. We're not here to just drink tea, even though the tea is, mashallah, the best tea you can drink. Not here to take our portion of the food and then go home or see our friends. We are here to change. We are here to go to the right path. You know how many times Allah gives us an opportunity to change throughout the year? How many times? You find we have Layali al-Qadr. You find we have Majalis Imam al-Hussein. There is no community. Pay attention to this. There is no community on the face of this earth that has a majlis like this. That we sit down, we talk about history, and we come back, we reflect on our own selves, and we think, let's change. Let's come back to the right path. There's nothing like this. We only have this. We only possess this. So, what can I do? What can I do? Follow the example of Hussein. He didn't say to her, Hur, you are the reason I'm here. Look at my family. Look at my children. Look at my sisters, my wives. They are scared. Surrounded by 40,000 soldiers, armed to the teeth. And yet you come to me and say, forgive me? No, he doesn't say that. We say this. We say it. If someone does anything bad to us, we say, this is the end. Alas. I had enough from him and I will destroy his life. As Imam al-Baqir alayhi salatu wassalam said in one hadith to Jabir ibn Yazid al-Ju'fi, he said to the Imam said to him, Awsika bi khams, I tell you of 5. One of them, we don't have the time to go through all the hadith. The Imam says to him, إِن ظَلَمَكَ أَحَدْ فَلَا تَظْلِمْ. If someone oppresses you, don't oppress them back. So here the Imam, what did he say to him? إِن تُبْتَ تَابَ اللَّهُ عَلَيْكَ. If you repent, Allah will forgive you. You are most welcome. This camp is your camp. See? There are lessons that we can learn from Abu Abdullah al-Hussein. Every single moment of those days, there are lessons that we can derive from. We're not here just to tell you stories and the history. Let's learn from that history. Let's learn from that story to reflect on ourselves, on the community. How can we change this community of ours? We are blessed to have a person that is Abu Abdullah al-Hussein. We are blessed to have majalis that we have now. This is the start of this majalis. We just started. This is a launch of this majalis. If you go to Apple products, when they launch a product, everyone runs to them to buy that, even though they have the same thing going on every year. Allah says to us, I give you the lantern of the guidance and the ark of salvation, not just for you to listen to this from 1 year and the year out. No, for you to change. That is the whole deal of it. So Abu Abdullah al-Hussein said to his brother Muhammad ibn Hanafiya, he said to him, oh brother, I come out to change this ummah. I come out to reform it. إني لم أخرج عشرا ولا بطرا ولا مفسدا ولا ظالما. Imam is making it clear why I'm coming out. And he doesn't need to. For me, my belief, my understanding and what I have, the Imam doesn't have to clear himself. But the Imam does. Why? Because you have people that are, I don't know how to put it there, because this is a muqaddas place. This is a holy place, but they are stupid. This is a list I can say. They come and they say that, well, Hussein rose against his own Khalifa, on his Amir al-Mu'mineen, and he was killed and he was wrong. This is why Imam al-Hussein made it clear. He says to his brother, إني لم أخرج أشرا ولا بطرا ولا مفسدا ولا ظالما. I don't come out to oppress anyone. I'm not coming out to be an evil, to change, to divert people to different sects. This is what Muawiyah used to write to Imam Ali ibn Abi Talib. He used to say to Amir al-Mu'mineen, the commander of the faithful. He used to say to Ali, ittaqillah ya Ali, ittaqillah. Who is saying that to who? Muawiyah is saying that to commander of the faithful. Mawlidul Kaaba wa Shahidul Mihrab. He says to him, ittaqillah. Why should I ittaqillah? Why should I be pious? Fear God, be God conscious. Why? Because you are changing the people, into different groups and you're putting them in different groups. Well, this is how it is. If someone says haqq, if someone says the right thing, whether you like it, join. If you don't like it, of course you're on the other path. Yazid said the same thing to Imam al-Hussein. Ittaqillah. And it is amazing that you find people, they're not worthy to say anything, even close to this. And they say that to Ahl al-Bayt al-Asma, وموضع الرسالة, to the sons of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And he continued, he said, وَإِنَّمَا خَرَجْتُ لطلب الإصلاح في أمة جدي أريد أن آمر بالمعروف وأنهى عن المنكر. أمر بالمعروف والنهي عن المنكر. I see that it's changed. Everything is changing. They forgot about the Sunnah and they are now following the bid'ah, heresies. And I'm here to reform. I'm here to change. I'm here to start a revolution that no one has ever, throughout the history, has ever started. Nelson Mandela, South Africa, they owe everything to him because of what he did. Malcolm X, United States of America, they owe him. As well as for Martin Luther King Jr. But you find that is for one nation, one country. But what Imam al-Hussein did was for everyone. For everyone. Especially for the free. Horror. Be free in your life. That's why he said, Hayhat min al-dhilla. On me, preaching my allegiance to a person like Yazid, the person who drinks, the person who plays with his monkeys and dogs, the person who's drunk throughout the day. Throughout the day. He's drunk throughout the day, yet he's called Amir al-Mu'minin. No. This is not going to happen. And I come out with my family. They asked him, they said to him, Sayyidi wa Mawlai, we understand that you're coming out to fight Yazid, but why the children? Why the women? In the reply, he said to them, Sha'Allah an yarahunna sabaya. Captive, being taken from one city to the other, and for Zainab to take over the message. And you find Lady Zainab, the lioness, she came, she took over the message of Imam al-Hussein and she delivered it perfectly in Kufa and in Sham. Today that we sit down here, we tell the saga of Abu Abdullah al-Hussein as if it happened yesterday, is because of Sayyidah Zainab salamullahi alayha. The saga of Abu Abdullah al-Hussein is a saga that went through 1,380 years, yet we come to it fresh, so fresh. And there is no gathering throughout the year that people sit down for 2 months straight. They commemorate a death, a martyrdom that happened 1,380 years ago. World War II, they sit down and they take a moment of silence for 1 minute and that is it. And World War II had more than 100 million victims. But the saga of Abdullah al-Hussein every year becomes bigger and bigger and bigger. Why? Why? To guide us. Come to my place. When you go to Ziyarah by Abdullah al-Hussein, the first time you see the Qubba, and you've been walking for 2 straight days and you're tired, but when you see the Qubba, you see the dome, you are so relieved as if Allah gave you everything. And you say, this is what I came all the way from down under to visit Abu Abdullah al-Hussein. And you say those beautiful words, Labbayka ya Hussein. Imam al-Hussein salamullah alayhi, you know what he did on the day of Ashura? Listen to this, brothers and sisters. And what he did was, what he said was, wasn't only for the people standing, surrounding him and fighting him. He said, when he was all alone, and he fought, and he was wounded, he took a minute to relax, to take his strength, to go back into the battlefield. He looked to the north, and he said those heart-wrenching words, heart-breaking words, Ala min nasiran yansuruna, with the loudest voice. Ala min mu'inin yu'inuna. Is there anyone that comes to our rescue that will help us? He said that facing north, and then he faced east, and then he faced west, and then he faced south. 4 times he said that. Ala min nasiran yansuruna. Ala min mu'inin yu'inuna. There was no one there. No one. But those words are written where? In the books. Who reads them? Me and you. What do we say? Are we on that path that you asked us to be? Ala Abu Abdullah al-Hussein. Even though I wasn't there, we recite that in Dua Al-Alqama, we recite that in Ziyarat Ashura, Ya laytana kunna ma'akum fanafuza fawzan azima. We also recite that. And we say that even though I wasn't there, Abu Abdullah, even though I wasn't there to help you, but I am now here. And I am there with you, with my soul, with my bone, with my everything I have in my position for you, Abu Abdullah. I wasn't there to fight for your cause. I wasn't fortunate enough to be there to shed my blood. So the Imam Ali afdal salati was salam says, فَمَنْ قَبِلْنِي بِقَبُولِ الْحَقِّ فَاللَّهَ أَوْلَى بِالْحَقِّ وَمَنْ رَدَّ عَلَيَّ هَذَا أَصْبِرْ. Listen to that. It's not something that we say, asbir. He's saying that when his 6 months old child is killed in front of him. He said, asbir. I stayed firm. And he did, asbir. And I'm there, delivering that message. And I am firm with this. I am strong with this. 6 months old, if that happens to you and me, we lose it. We say, this is it, I can't. No more than that. Yet, when that baby is killed right in front of his eyes, he says to Allah, خُذْ حَتَّى تَرْضَى. Take as much as you want. Because I'm here to revive the religion. I'm here to change it to the right path. So he says, وَمَنْ رَدَّ عَلَيَّ هَذَا أَصْبِرْ حَتَّى يَقْضِيَ اللَّهُ بَيْنِي وَبَيْنَ الْقَوْمِ بِالْحَقِّ وَهُوَ خَيْرُ الْحَاكِمِينَ. Imam al-Sadiq alayhi afdal salati was salam says in Ziyaratul Arba'in, inshallah you all go, inshallah, this year, if not next year, you are part of this, inshallah, one day. When you see people are walking in millions, for a moment, just look at them and think to yourself, where in the world people walk like that? They come from their hometowns, and they go through hardship, and they are tired, they become sick, some of them don't eat, some of them, they have to go to hospital afterward because of their sickness and all that. But why are they doing that? Why? The love of Hussein. That love is into us, is immersed in our bodies because of our parents, because of this majalis. We come here, and you see, Arba'in is on the 20th of Safar. Now we are on the 1st of محرم, going to the 2nd and the 3rd. We are starting, yes? We are starting, we are warming up. When we come to that day, we say, I'm all hyped up. I want to go to the ziyarah. In that ziyarah, that is narrated by Imam al-Sadiq alayhi afdal salati was salam, the Imam says, Imam al-Sadiq alayhi afdal salati was salam says, في زيارة جده أبا عبد الله الحسين وبذل مهجته فيك ليستنقذ عبادك من الجهالة وحيرة الضلالة. عبادك, again, he doesn't say for what time. He doesn't say, well, this is only for 61 and AH and that is it. No. He says, عبادك, your people. He doesn't say Shia of Kufa, the Shia of Medina. No, he says, عبادك. عبادك, every man, every woman throughout history. وَبَذَلَ مُحْجَتَهُ فِيكِ. He gave everything he had for that cause, to rescue your people. From what? وَبَذَلَ مُحْجَتَهُ فِيكِ لِيَسْتَنْقِذَ عِبَادَكَ مِنَ الْجَهَالَ وَحَيْرَةِ الضَّلَالَ. Made every effort and put his heart, his mind, his soul, and his life, and the life of his family and his companions, everything online, everything at the disposal of thy mission. And the mission was to liberate people from the yoke of ignorance. Jahiliyyah was coming back. As we said last night, al-Islam Muhammadiyul wujud wa Husayniyul baqa. Islam was again taking a wrong turn, was going to Jahiliyyah. He came and he said, you know what, this is all wrong. Let's go back to the right path. The path of my grandfather and my father Ali. My grandfather Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam, and my father Amir al-Mu'mineen Ali ibn Abi Talib, and the evil of bewilderment, al-Jahiliyyah. This is it. This is the message. And this is our choice, brothers and sisters. Whoever comes here, number one, is welcomed. Because as we said, this is not my house, this is your house, not your house. This is the house of Abu Abdullah al-Hussein. You are more than welcome. And when we come here, we have to think, what am I gaining from this? What am I learning from this? This big movement, I want to be part of it. At least I do what he asked me to do. I follow what he said the path to follow. And that is the path of Abdullah al-Hussein when it was the time of Salah. And I conclude with this. Abu Thumama comes to him and says to him, Ya Aba Abdullah, Sayyidi wa Mawlai, now is Salah time. Sayyid al-Shuhada looks at the sky and he says, Rahimakallah, Ja'alakallah min al-Musallin. You understand that this Salah, the Imam al-Hussein stands there in the land of Karbala, in the middle of the battlefield, and he stands there with his companions praying and losing 50 of his companions. 50 from 73, he lost them just to pray that Salah. You understand well? That means that Salah is important. Let's try that one first, and we go to the rest of them one by one. See what he did, what he represented on that day, and I learned from him to become a modern citizen of Allah the Almighty. Like Abu Abdullah al-Hussein was a great role model that we must follow. Assalamu alayka ya Aba Abdullah. وعلى الأرواح التي حلت بفنائك عليك مني سلام الله أبدا ما بقيت وبقي الليل والنهار ولا جعله الله آخر العهد مني لزيارتكم. السلام على الحسين وعلى علي بن الحسين وعلى أولاد الحسين وعلى أصحاب الحسين وعلى أخته العقيلة زينب وأخيه أبا الفضل العباس ورحمة الله وبركاته. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اللهم كن لوليك الحجة ابن الحسن صلواتك عليه وعلى آبائه وفي كل ساعة وليا وحافظا وقائدا وناصرا ودليلا وعينا حتى تسكنه أرضك طوعا يا رب الحسين بحق الحسين اشف صدر الحسين بظهور الحجة. يا رب الحسين بحق الحسين اشف صدر الحسين بظهور الحجة. يا رب الحسين بحق الحسين اشف صدر الحسين بظهور الحجة. اللهم اجعلنا من أنصاره وأعوانه يا رب العالمين. اللهم اجعلنا من مستشهدين بين يديه يا إله الخلق أجمعين. الفاتحة قبلها الصلاة على محمد وآل محمد.